Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here we share beginner-friendly coding tutorials on Scratch, Roblox, Minecraft, web programming, and many more. Today we are going to finish our mini golf game we started to code in Scratch in the last video. For the second part of the project, we'll divide the functions we're adding by how essential they are to the game. So we'll start by defining what to do when the ball enters the hole. But first, we'll add another circle inside of the hole we had from last time so that it's more precise when entering it. Then when the ball touches the color of the little circle, we'll code to handle scoring on one hole. So let's get started. So right now I have my Scratch project open. I'm going to go to the hole sprite, and then in costumes, I'm going to add another hole inside. So here I'm going to make the little one, the little hole here, red. Okay, I'll adjust it a little. So here we have it. Okay. And then next, what we want to do is we need to add the detection block just below where we detect if it touches one of the borders of the field. Then if the speed is low enough, the ball can go into the hole. So we set the speed to a negative value so it gets out of the loop. All right, so I'm going to go back to my ball sprite and then right in this detection block, I'm going to duplicate it and add another if. Oh, sorry, I mean we need to move it right here. All right, so if touching the color red, now I need to use the color dropper again and grab the color red. Okay, so if touching the color red, and we also want to see if the speed is low enough. So get another condition, if. Okay, so we need to go to operators, get the smaller than sign. So if the speed, so get speed is smaller than 5, then we are going to set the speed to negative, so it gets out of the loop. Okay, so variables, set speed to negative 0.1. All right. Now, in addition to what we just did, so we want to also broadcast a message so we level up to the next level. So we're going to go to events and we're going to choose broadcast message. We'll put it right here. And in message, I'm going to say next level and then OK. All right. So this message will be received by everyone. So we'll add code in the stage so it changes to the next backdrop. So that's the second level. And after that code, we'll need to design the actual next backdrop, so the actual level 2. So let me go ahead to the backdrop and say, when I receive next level, I'm going to switch to the next backdrop, and then we're going to go ahead and design it. Okay, I'm in the backdrops part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate my first backdrop, rename and have it as backdrop 2. Of course, I want to delete this rectangle I have earlier and set up a complete new one. Since this is level 2, we're going to make it a little bit harder. So I'm going to add a water trap and also a grass trap. So when the ball hits either one of these items, it's going to have to go back to the starting point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. My second background stage, all right, level 2 stage. Now what I'm going to do is going to add the traps that I talked about earlier. So the water trap and the grass trap. I'm going to start with the water trap. So I'm going to change the color to blue. Okay. All right, so this blue. Then add a circle, and I think I'm going to add it right here. Okay, let me say no outline as well. So this is the water trap. And then another thing I want to do is also the grass trap. So for the grass trap, I'm going to change the color to a slightly different shade of green. Let's say this neon green. And I'm going to place it right here. So that's the grass trap. Either if the ball touches either the water trap or the grass trap, then it's going to have to reset its position back to the beginning. Okay, now in the same stage section, we'll set up a level variable so that the game knows in which map level you're in right now. So we'll add a block to set the level to the initial one, and then we can put the switch backdrop to the level variable so it changes automatically. We can also add a condition so that if you reach the end of the levels, you stop the program. All right, so let's go to code. And to do this, we're going to say when I receive next level, oh, we already have it right here. When I receive next level, we're going to change the level by 1 because we're in level 2. So to do that, let's make a variable first called level. And then we'll say change level by 1. Now I don't want it to show up in the game, so I'm going to uncheck it right here. So change level by 1, and then I'm going to say, all right, if we have reached the end of the levels, so right now we have level 1 and 2, so I'm going to say the end would be level 3, right? So we'll say if level equals to 3, okay, then we are going to get the stop all block. And then we're going to switch backdrop back to the initial one. So we're going to go to looks and switch backdrop to level. All right. And then we're also going to say when green flag is clicked, we want to start from the beginning, which is level 1. So we go to operators and we do set level to 1 and then also switch the backdrop to 1. So next thing we're going to do is set up the ball and the hole so that when you end a level, they move to their next position. So we're going to use the when I receive and go to blocks to do this instead of a condition, depending on which level they are. So you can tie it up to another message so that the value of the level is already changed. All right, so we'll say when backdrop switches to backdrop 2, then we are going to set the position of the hole. Okay, we need to put it in the hole sprite. All right, so we'll say when backdrop switches to backdrop 2, then we are going to use the go to block and say go to X 120 and then Y minus 90. All right, let's try it. Okay, so now we're in our second backdrop. So let's go ahead and actually adjust it a little bit. Let's say I want it right here. Okay, so that is 199 and minus 123 for Y. Okay, and then for backdrop 1, let's have a look as well. Okay, so for backdrop 1, we want it to be somewhere around here. So in code, we're going to say when backdrop switches to backdrop 1, we want to say X is 223. Oh, sorry, that's 233. And Y is minus 23. All right, let's try that. So here I'm going to say, okay, so the hole is in the correct position. Now we need to do the same thing for the ball. So for the ball, we're going to make sure they start in the beginning right here. So for backdrop 2, let's have a look. So we'll say when backdrop switches to backdrop 2, we'll do go to X is minus 224, Y is 111. Then let's do backdrop 1 again. Okay, so for backdrop 1, we can make it somewhere around there. So I believe we already have this code. All right, so when green flag click, go to minus 175 and 0. Okay. Finally, we can code the terrain. So here we'll change it a little bit. So we'll say if you touch the water trap, it restarts the level. So it goes back to the original position. And if you touch the grass, then we'll make it to be, you'll move slowly instead. So the speed decreases. So we're going to add those conditions before we move a certain amount of steps and change the speed so that they handle this before moving the ball. And the most important one is when you touch the water, you reset the position. Thus, we'll use an if something something else something something block to code this sort of behavior. All right, so now we want to go back to the ball sprite and then add in the condition if something then something else. And we grab that out here, and then we're going to add in the condition. So I can duplicate, and then I'll say if touching the color watercolor, then we are going to set the speed. So set speed to be negative 0.1. And then we're also going to say, all right, if you are in level 1, so another if, and then we'll say if level equals to 1. Then what we're going to do is we're going to reset your position. So we want to look at our position. So that's 175 and 0. Let's throw this. Okay, minus 175 75 and 0. Okay, so if level equals to 1, then reset goes there. But then if level equals to 2, so then we need to go to control and get another condition. Okay, and then we'll duplicate this and say if level equals to 2, then we're going to a different part. So we'll duplicate this and put this one right here. All right, now for our else part, what we're actually going to do is we're going to move the code we have right here. So move speed steps, change speed by minus 0.5, all of that. We're going to move it into our else. Now in the else part of this block, we'll add an extra slowdown if the ball is touching the grass track. And we're going to do the color dropping, then change the speed by an extra 0.2. So we're going to go, first of all, move our code back into our repeat until. And then in the else part, we're going to add another one. Let's say we put it right above here. Okay, so we'll say if touching, let's use our color dropper, move it back into here. Okay, if touching the color green, then we are going to change the speed. So change speed by minus 0.2. All right, so that's it for the coding of our mini golf Scratch tutorial. And that's all for today. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos. And also check out the other 2 videos while you're here waiting for the next one. All right, see you. Bye.